Welcome to our video on dividing mixed numbers. Your learning goal for today is to know how to divide mixed numbers. Our steps are written out right here. The steps, you're going to add them to your guided note. Make sure you read over them and fill in everything that you need. The first step we're going to do is convert both fractions into improper fractions. This is the same first step as you have when you're multiplying fractions. So let's convert these into improper fractions. The first thing you do is take the whole number and multiply it by the denominator. So we take 6 times 4, and don't forget to add the numerator to it, plus 2. So 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So we have 25 over 4 divided by 1 times 8 plus 7. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 7 is 15, divided by 15 over 8. Great. Step 1 is done. Step 2, change the second fraction into its reciprocal. Okay, remember reciprocals. We talked about them yesterday. Reciprocals are two fractions that when you multiply together, you get the number of 1. You can find the reciprocal by flipping the fraction. So this will become 25 over 4, then we have 8 over 15 over here. Change the division sign into multiplication, so this becomes multiplication. Now we're going to do the step of cross-simplifying. You do this step when you are working with mixed numbers. If you don't do this step, you end up with a really big fraction at the end. So doing this step will make sure it's easier later. Change my color. We're going to start by cross-simplifying the 4 and the 8. What you're going to do is look at these two numbers. Do they have any common factors? Not multiples, factors. So I'm going to write down the factors. Factors of 4. What are the factors of 4? Think to yourself. The things that multiply together to give you 4. We have 1, because 1 times 4 is 4. 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. And 4. Okay, now the factors of 8. We have 1, 2, 4, and 8. So their greatest common factor is 4. What we're going to do next is write out the question again, but divide both the 8 and the 4 by 4. So we end up having 25 over, what's 4 divided by 4? 4 divided by 4 is 1. Times 8 divided by 4. What's 8 divided by 4? That's 2 over 15. Now look at the other side, the other two opposites. We have 25 and 15. Let's write out the factors of 25. We have 1, 5, and 25. Okay, the factors of 15. 1, 3, 5, and 15. The 5's not going to fit on there, but that's a 15. Okay, what is their greatest common factor? It's 5. Great. So that means that we're going to take 5 out of the 25 and out of the 15. Let's do that now. So we take 25 and divide it by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5 over 1 times 2, and then we divide 15 by 5. So 2 over 3. Then we multiply. So we're done the cross simplification step. You just look at the ones opposite each other and simplify them. Now what's 5 times 2? That's 10, and 3 times 1 is 3. One more step to go, we need to simplify it. So in this case, simplifying means writing it back as a mixed number. So to do that, we take the numerator, which is 10, and divide it by 3. I'm going to erase my factors up here so that I have some space to do it. Okay, let's take 10 and divide it by 3. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, with a remainder of 1. When you're writing a mixed number again, the whole number that you get goes as the whole number in the front. The denominator stays the same, and whatever your remainder is becomes your numerator. So you have 3 and 1/3. That is our answer to 6 1/4 divided by 1 7/8. We're going to do, then we're done. We're going to do one more example. If we have 2 1/10 divided by 4 2/3, our first step is to write them both as improper fractions. 2 1/10, so we take 2, and we multiply it by the 10, and then we add the 1. So 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Divided by 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14 over 3. Okay, our next step is to take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we'll write out our first fraction because nothing happens to it. What's the reciprocal of 14/3? 3/14. And instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. Another way you can think about this is keep, change, change. You keep the first fraction, change the sign, and change the second fraction. It's like when we were subtracting negative numbers. Keep the first fraction, change the second operation, and change the last fraction. Okay, now we are going to do the cross-simplifying step. Let's first look at the 10 and the 3. Okay, what are the factors, not the multiples, the factors of 10? 1, 2, 5, and 10. Okay, what are the factors of 3? 1 and 3. It's prime. What is their greatest common factor? It's 1. Well, we can't, if we multiply it by 1, we'll get the same thing. So that means that these two numbers are already simplified as much as they can be, so we're going to leave them. Now we're going to look at the other two. So we'll have 21 over 10 times 3 over 14. I'll write the other two, 21 and 14. Let's see if they have a common factor. The multiples of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21. The multiples of 14 are 1, 2, 7, and 14. They do have a common factor. It's 7. So we're going to divide both of them by 7. So what's 21 divided by 7? It's 3. Times 14 divided by 7 is 2. What's 3 times 3? It's 9. 10 times 2 is 20. So our answer is 9/20. Can this be simplified? No. So it is our final answer. And that's all you do for dividing mixed numbers.